Many of you have updated their resumes in the recent weeks, and a resume is not to get a new job. A resume is to get an interview. That's what a colleague of mine said, rightfully so. I want to give you some hints in this video how to do that right. My name is bthommes and I'm recruiting for small and medium-sized companies. Most of the resumes are too long. I recommend, if you are an experienced executive, you should target 6 to 8 pages. This is the maximum I would like to see. If you have 5 to 10 years, it can be shorter. It can be like 3 pages, just to be credible on your experience. I have received resumes in the last few weeks which were between 1 page and 16 pages. A 16-pager is not very credible. Who has the time to read everything? Nobody. And I think you fall off the table just by the sheer size of this resume. So keep it within limits, 6 to 8. I think you're on the right path then. So now you say, how do I keep my resume to 6 pages? I recommend progression. That simply states that the last 2 experiences, you really put a lot of effort describing these experiences and what you have done, and also the results you have achieved in these experiences. An experience which is further in the past is not as relevant anymore to take a decision for your next career step. So you can keep them shorter. So keep this in mind if you want to write a proper resume. Some people try to draw attention with a very creative layout, so I would not recommend this. The first reason being that I use a software to parse the resume into another software which makes the resume searchable. And the more complicated the layout, the more problems the software has to parse this document. So I have to rework it manually with the risk that some data is lost. So you might fall between the cracks in a bigger system where you upload your resume. The other reason is that such resumes are difficult to read. They have like 3 columns, and there is different information in all these columns, and the reader has to build together a timeline from this resume, which sometimes is very cumbersome. And every manager who has to read a resume probably will look for a timeline, will look for like something like straightforward, easy to read. So I recommend not to use such layouts, to be sure that it fits to a certain standard and is readable for the reader, and that very easily. The basic data we require from a resume is a photo, then some basic information about yourself, date of birth, are you married, do you have children, an email, telephone number, address, where do you live today. These are just basic informations we require in Germany. Legally it could be different in different countries, but here in Germany we would like to see this information. The reason for that is the first interview is sometimes a telephone interview. So for me it's important to have an impression what kind of person I meet there, how the person looks like, and that I simply have an image in my mind to whom I'm talking to. So don't forget this information. It is simply a basic in all resumes in Germany. The first 2 pages are the most important. There you establish relevance to the job description. Maybe you have read the job description, maybe you have received the job description. What you have to do, you have to understand what the company is looking for. There are things written in these job descriptions, and you have to translate this into keywords for your resume. So if somebody is looking for an operations director and they want to be sure that he has done continuous improvement, you should hit on the keyword and say you have experience with, for example, Six Sigma, TPM, and so on. Same thing if you are a chief financial officer and the company is looking for a similar job. You should make sure that you have the keywords in your resume which can be related to the job description. And this should be done on the first 2 pages of your resume. I hope I was able to give you some hints on how to build your resume. If you liked the video, please click like and subscribe to the channel for more videos. If you are having more questions, please send me an email or call me. If you're looking for staff, please do the same. Thank you very much and see you in the next video.